And if I end up muting or whatever while I'm going live, you guys, because believe me, I'm trying to push through. I do have family that's visiting, so if they start getting loud in the next room, I may mute or whatever. So again, I'm trying to push through in spite of. So shalom, my love. So peace to this is Midnight Mindfulness on YouTube. So shout out to House of Healing LLC. I am here because of one of my House of Healing viewers that I think they were on they commented on, I believe, one of the videos, and were saying how they missed my Midnight Mindfulness. Um, she was saying how she missed my midnight mindfulness sessions, and I had already planned to go live much earlier than at this moment. I meant to be live earlier, but again, I do have a lot on my plate. And so this is, as early as I could get here, but I was pushed here by a desire to keep my word for the people who do appreciate, you know, what I bring to the table and to the puzzle. So once again, shout out to House of Healing LLC. Peace, love, life, healing, joy, and abundance. Also to my Bigo Live room. Share the live, my people. Share the love. It is, what time is it? 2:12 a.m. where I am. And again, this is as early as I could get here. And even in this moment, I am pushing through, okay, to be here and get these messages out. But I didn't want to stay away too long, okay? So I am happy that I am recording this um, on YouTube. So this is going to be the Midnight Mindfulness session titled The Living Truth. Okay. And a lot of the times, the title of the lives that I do when I know that I'm going to be channeling and I'm going to be also teaching from some of the downloads that I've written down, um, the title will make sense later. Okay. And so um, I am a spiritualist, and so I do teach from many different reference points, and at times I don't need a physical reference point within the matrix that I'm trying to navigate us and our way out of. So I'm trying to acclimate us into learning to trust our own internal guide as our navigation system through this matrix, okay, and to help you to individually unravel the matrix, okay, for each of you individually, and then for us to again, each one teach one to then unravel for themselves, so that we can get down to, what we call the builder. So we're going to be speaking about the builder. Let me share this live real quick on Bigo to the list that I meant to share it to the first time, and then we will get started. We are listening to 528 hertz in the background, okay? And it also has a rain vibe, okay? For those of you who know me intimately, you know that water is the medium, and the element that I choose to connect, or that has chosen me to connect. This is the way that I do connect with the divine. Okay, the element that the mostly that I connect with divine, earth and water. Okay, and so yes, the rain was very calming for me. As again, I do have guests, and being an intuitive empath, when you are in the have to merge with a lot of different energies. There's a lot that you have to do in order to keep your own energy balanced, and so again, I'm pushing through simply because I love you guys. Okay, those who are going to join me in real time, and also those of you who are listening to this whenever you do hear it. My messages are timeless, okay, and time is not even a reality. And so once again, whenever you hear the message is right on time, and all is always as it should be. Okay. Why is I really do feel whatever's going to come out tonight, my people, it must be powerful because I'm having all sorts of technical difficulties. My computer is trying to go off on me. Now, this is the second computer that I've had to buy. My computers have been crashing. And at the same time, I'm so excited. My vibration is still very high because I'm so aware of what I'm doing, with my power. Okay, for those of you who know that I always talk about how, we're here to play, because the what that which we call God is the prime creator. Okay, or we can speak of God as our creator, whatever. God is a creator. Okay, or the creatress, whichever form that this prime creator chooses to take. Us as being offsprings from this creator, we are also creators. And so we are here to recreate, and recreation is recreation, which is play. And so what I'm doing, as I have, passed a lot of tests, okay, and earned these rites of passage into higher levels of awareness and higher levels of experience, deeper levels of love and self-awareness. I'm experiencing, I'm learning how to play, okay, with the God-given power that I've been given. And I'm not afraid to say the word power or anything else, because I'm so beyond being limited or restricted by the fear-based beliefs of others. Okay, and so the liberation that I'm enjoying right now is beautiful. The freedom, the newness, okay, the revitalization, just taking me to a deeper level. It's a beautiful thing, and the reason I'm sharing it, and again, I know that anytime that I'm speaking, I am speaking to a very specific audience. So if you are being led here to hear the message is most definitely for you. And you're most likely one of the people who have also, gone through many rites of passage, okay, to be at a certain level of awareness. And this is not about comparing, or competing, but it is just about being self aware of where you are in relation to the creation. Okay, and in relation to your own reality, because my ultimate goal for each of us is for each of us to become the god or goddess of our own reality. Okay, so let me make it very clear that Unraveler has no desire to be the god of anyone else's reality other than my own. Okay, and I do want to see, the other parts of the God puzzle that I always speak of, become the highest version of themselves as well. Okay, so I'm not going to waste time, because again, I'm trying to get through this before there's any disturbances in the next room, anyone making noise and all of these things. Okay, so I do have several pages of downloads that I do not completely remember writing everything. So again, but I love this about myself. Like, the whole process of self-realization is the process of accepting every part of you, and just falling in love with you. And you realize that also equates to falling in love with God, and becoming love and embodying this and walking in it. And so that's mostly what I know that I'm going to talk about tonight, come through spirit. Okay, welcome to the person who has joined me in the Midnight Mindfulness live stream on YouTube. I am live on both platforms, by the way. Okay, so this will be living truth. Okay, Midnight Mindfulness, and it may also be part of the Unraveling playlist on House of Healing LLC. Okay. And again, shout out to Be Go Live. Let me go ahead and lock my boxes really quick. Be Go Live. Anyone who is in the room, though, is most definitely, I will keep 2 of these boxes open. Just in case anyone would like to join me as I move forward. But you guys know how I do. I do like to, if I start channeling spirit, I do not like to be interrupted. And so this is the reason for locking the boxes. And so spirit is saying to go ahead and lock the other 2. Okay, so it must be some narcs lurking. I will, however, unlock these boxes if I need to moving forward. Okay. And I do welcome everyone who is already here. If you are interested to stay and also share the live and share the love. Okay. And welcome again to the people who are joining me on House of Healing LLC as well. Okay. I'm trying to get through this as quick as possible because I do not wish to be interrupted. Okay. By the other energies that I am sharing my space with in this moment. Okay. So I want to talk about, I'm always, anytime I come and I speak, it's really just to, because I don't consider myself, to be above anyone, or I may be looking at, the same path that we're all on from a different perspective, but I don't consider, I don't see anything as a hierarchy. Okay. Because we all move through these different energies, frequencies, and vibrations. And so we can't get to one level of an experience and then feel that we're better than people who are where we used to be and where some of us fear that we may end up being again. And so first and foremost is the humility has to be in place in order to really make a real connection and create a rapport with the listener. I don't know why I needed to say that, but spirit is speaking already. Come through, spirit. Okay. I love it. So, in the higher realms are simply realms of light. Okay, even the realm that we are in is a realm of light, and it's a particular frequency of light. Okay, and so when we think about, because my whole goal with all of my teaching is to always help us to remember the truth of who we are. Okay, hence the title of the Midnight Mindfulness session. Okay, the living truth. Okay, we are going to unravel this, of course, going forward. I always want to remind us, because it's easy to forget in this matrix where everything that we think becomes, it begins to take form and becomes a true experience in our life. We forget that we are the one who actually created the experience. And so the goal of all of my teaching is always to help us to remember the self as the creator of the experience, as the generator of the electromagnetic field surrounding the body that you are inhabiting. Okay, and also encompassing. I just said something. Come through, spirit. So the goal of all of my teachings is to always remind myself and others, okay, that we are all beings of light at the core. Okay, hence the the term light worker. Okay, working that light within you, that power, that love, that wisdom. These are all things that manifest themselves. These are energies that are byproducts of the pure unconditional love that is at the very core of your being. Okay, and being and emanating out into the world from, what some people call God, the builder, the prime creator, whatever names that they want to give the most high, which is the highest energy that you can come to know and to align yourself with. And yes, there are schools of thought and fear-based religions that do not believe that we as mere humans, as mere mortals, have the ability to align ourselves with the Most High. Okay, but I beg to differ. Okay, and I submit to you the idea that impossible does not exist, and that in order for you to be able to even conceive of being able to align yourself with that which we call God, it would require a renewing of the mind, which is why I speak of this a lot, because those who have chosen to conform to the world the way that it has currently been established, they are not going to be able to see the reality that I'm presenting. Okay, so just give me a quick minute, give me a break, let me check something, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, my people, for a minute, I hope. Okay, so where was I? I was trying to remind us of our at our core that we are beings of light, basically wearing human skin, okay, in order to participate in this earth plane experience, okay. And I like to refer to it as an earth plane because what I've been shown about the multiverses and the many mansions of thought that the prime creator has created and continues to create. um, it's infinite. And so these are planes, from what I see, these are um, planes. Okay, and I'm just going to go deeper into that. The more that I go forward in what I'm saying, okay, is the more that I unravel what's being shown to me. But at the end of the day, I was trying to remind us that we are, your true identity is your spirit. And those who have been following me on YouTube for years, that my teaching about this has never changed. Okay, your true identity is your spirit, and this is always going to be what I'm going to be reminding you of, and reminding you of what this spirit is comprised of, and how to get back to self. Because a lot of people, have gotten, quote unquote, lost in the sauce, lost in the matrix, in the simulation, in the dream, okay, in this mass psychoma, okay, this mass soul sleep that we collectively have been experiencing thus far. We are in what I have been calling the time of change since I've been on YouTube, based upon a dream that I had about this time that was coming. The dream was 26 years ago, and we are in the time right now. Okay, so when I say speak about remembering yourself, I'm speaking again of acknowledging your indwelling spirit as your true identity. Okay, especially during this time of change. Okay, because all of your outer layers, like the Russian dolls, okay, that I'm going to be working with in some upcoming videos and that I've been speaking about over the past few months. You are unraveling. As you're unraveling yourself, you are shedding layers and layers of weight that you cannot take with you into the higher realms. As we all know, no matter what your religion may be, I'm sure that your teachers, your gurus, your guides have, in some way conveyed to you the need to pack light, okay, in order to enter into this higher realm. Okay, so when we speak of shadow work and inner child work and healing and all of these things, it's about releasing heavy energies, or what I refer to as spiritual gravity. And these are things that hold us back and hold us down. And these are energies that are low vibrational, such as unforgiveness, such as envy, jealousy, and, competitiveness, and, spitefulness. Just anything that is not of God is not going to be allowed into the higher realms, basically, is what I'm saying. So remember the truth of who you are. Acknowledge that spirit is your truest identity. Okay, when I speak of unraveling the unraveler's knot, when I speak of the Russian dolls, the matryoshka dolls, the when I speak of getting to the very center of anything, at the center of it is the builder, okay, of the structure itself, okay. And if you don't believe me, then cut open an organic fruit and you tell me if you don't find the generator of the fruit itself, which would be the seed, okay. And so I want you to, I will use the analogy of the seed being, this imperishable ak, which is an indestructible star, okay, according to Kemet, okay, this morning star according to Christianity, this Shekinah glory according to spirituality, okay, the builder according to the unraveler. We are all speaking of this same energy. We are all speaking of that which we call God, which is an energy, a frequency, and a vibration. Okay. And there are levels to any energy, frequency, and vibe. And so, when I'm speaking of the Most High, I am speaking of love, and I'm speaking of that which we call God. And when I'm speaking of the Most Low, I'm speaking of anything that is not of God. Okay. Just so that we're clear moving forward for those of you who don't know me in the language that I speak. So, there have always been schools of thought regarding the world coming to an end. When I dreamt of the time of change, yes, the world that as we knew it was coming to an end, but we also were, a handful of people were being transported to a different world. Okay. So as we know, you know, to understand the mysteries of the universe, which is what the unraveler came to do, is to unravel the universe, okay, within you as an individual and then within us collectively, so that we understand the God puzzle, so that we can see the big picture, so we understand where we fit in, so that we understand our purpose, and so that we have purpose fulfillment by getting in where we fit into this puzzle, okay? Some people believe themselves to be the entire puzzle themselves. And so these people are probably being humbled in this moment. And if not, it is coming. Okay? Because yes, ye are gods, but gods when you come together with the glue that puts the puzzle together, which is the energy of love. So, yes, we are pieces of a whole, and yes, each piece is a microcosm of the whole, meaning that, yes, you can see all of God in each of his offspring, which is a beautiful thing. But the offspring needs to understand that alignment of every part of the self must be achieved for you to even realize your full potential. Mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health must be achieved for you to actually be the God or goddess that you claim or desire yourself to be. It is most definitely possible, but it takes more work than just saying the words. It's a walk that must be taken. And a lot of people who know the path have yet to walk the path. I just said something. There's a big difference in knowing the path and walking the path. In my Morpheus voice. Infinite, I see you in the building, love, and I felt your energy. Okay, your energy precedes you, my love. Okay, shout out to my House of Healing family on Bigo Live anyway, and shout out also to House of Healing LLC on YouTube. I'm sending you all love, light, and peace, joy, and I hope that you guys have an open mind to have visions of positive experiences going forward in the future. Love you always as well, infinite. Okay, I love you infinitely, my love. So, again, there's always been schools of thought regarding the world coming to an end. And like I said, thinking in terms of energy, frequency, and vibe, you have to understand that even the earth herself is an energy. Okay. I'm an energy, a frequency, a vibe. Infinite is a whole energy, frequency, and vibe in herself. Okay. The earth is a living being. Okay. And she is a whole energy, frequency, and vibe. And I spoke earlier of planes of existence and us being, experiencing only one of them in this moment. Okay. Unless you have, discovered your multidimensionality. But that's a whole nother video. Okay. But we're on one plane of existence, but there are multiple planes of existence. And I can speak on this because I know from experience. I'm not just speaking from books and regurgitating something that I heard someone else say. Now, I might have heard, Michio Kaku speak of multiverses and things of this nature, right? But what it was doing was making my experiences make sense, okay? It wasn't causing me to start fabricating things. It was like, wow, so what I was experiencing was really real, okay? And I'm sharing this because I know a lot of you have experiences that you hesitate to speak on and talk about because of the world that you're in, full of people who are still sleepwalking. Okay. And so who still believe that there isn't a such thing as impossible. Okay. If you still believe that impossible exists, you are not awakened. Okay. I said what I said. So the earth herself is an energy, a frequency, and a vibe. Okay. And so knowing that energy, cannot be created or destroyed, we have to understand that even as the world as we know it may be ending, there is the only thing that is happening is the same thing that happens when we think that appear that the physical body, the life of this physical vessel that your spirit is inhabiting, that you are inhabiting. When you feel like I'm done using this vessel, you feel like your life is over. But a lot of people, this is the moment when they realize that they are life itself. And so you do not die because you cannot die. You are energy, you are frequency, you are a whole vibe, okay, in yourself. And so when you appear to pass away, you are simply having a change of worlds, so to speak. Okay. And so even the earth herself is going through a change of energy, frequency, and vibe, and becoming what I saw in my dream, which was a new earth, a new world. Okay. So the energy at the core of everything, okay, is the spark of God, that is the glue that connects us all, that makes everything interconnected, that make all of the laws work the way that they do. And I mean, the more that if you're aware and you're paying attention to the energy that I'm sending out, the thoughts that I've been thinking, you can look back. You don't have to even do this going forward. You can look back on your life and say, the thoughts that I was thinking, the actions that I took, the perspective that I was seeing things from, were, it really was creating the reality that I was experiencing. So up until now, we have, been receiving some of the things that we want and some of the things that we don't. We've been creating some of the things that we desire and some of the things that we fear. And that is because we are holding a mixture of, energies in our, in the heart center, which is the subconscious mind that is creating our reality. And so the more and more aware of the way that reality works and the power that we have over our own reality individually and collectively, the more responsible we become, the more guarded we become over the heart. The more deliberate we become with our thoughts. Okay. And the more we begin to enjoy the experience of recreation, of playing with the blueprint, okay, that was given to us in order to continue to expand upon, okay, to be fruitful and to make bigger and to make better. And so, welcome, my people, to the time of change, as I do feel energetically that a lot of you are ready now after a long period of, hermit mode, okay? Ready, whether you know it or not, to emerge from your cocoons and to share these beautiful hues and colors with the world. Infinite, I knew I was feeling you, baby. Okay, we are always in alignment. Okay, because love aligns everything, it fixes everything, it connects everything. And if the foundation of your relationship and your business, your whatever it is that you think that you are building is not built on love, I told y'all a couple of months ago, I am the big bad wolf that came to blow your houses down. I meant what I said. Okay, so I hope that you haven't forgotten, because the Unraveler never forgets anything. Okay, so prepare. And like I said, I apologized in advance for having to do it, but God hired me. Who gonna fire me, Infinite? Who gonna fire me? Okay, I came to slay everything that is not of the light, because we are tired of this darker world. There are those of us who remember a brighter world. Okay, whether that world is in the future or the past, it doesn't exist, it doesn't matter, because time itself does not exist. So we have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and the way that we actually move through timelines, okay, and actually quantum leap from one timeline where I may have been overweight and depressed and codependent and whatever, right? And I make a quantum leap into a realm simply by changing my mind. Okay, simply by not conforming to the world telling me who I am, but me deciding who I am and allowing myself, my mind, to be renewed about who and what I am. Okay, and allowing and then seeing that alignment happen in the world. Okay, the world reflect that back to me, because the truth of the matter is that the reality that we are experiencing is just a mirror of our own internal state of being. Okay, I say this a lot, but I'm going to continue to say it, because the subconscious mind is programmed by hypnotic rhythm. Okay, so unlike the most low, who uses hypnotic rhythm to program self-defeating thoughts into the minds of the children of the Most High, I came to reverse that cycle. Okay, and I'm going to use hypnotic rhythm in the way that it was meant to be used, my people. Okay, and so we came here to play at the end of the day, but you have been faced with so many challenges and so many distractions and so many things that appear to be blockages and obstacles, that we've forgotten the purpose for being here. We've forgotten you've forgotten the whole meaning of life. And so I'm only here to remind you, okay, because there have been times on my path where I have needed to be reminded. And so this is just me feeding back into this never ending cycle of this alternating current between me and whatever other manifestation of God that I see, of love. And so I'm just giving back what is being given to me. And this is how we create abundance, okay? From the fullness in your own heart, which is why it is imperative that you fill your own cup, and then you can just pour and pour and pour, because you're plugged into the source when you fill your cup from within. See, when you fill your own cup, which I'm speaking of the heart, from within, it doesn't fill up like like the narcissist cup where you can just pour and pour and pour and it's unfillable. Okay. But this divine light comes in. It wakens, it doesn't even come from outside of you. It is something that has always been there that begins to blossom and awaken within you, this quickening that you feel within yourself to change, to think differently, to move differently. Why? Because maybe I woke up on a different timeline this morning. Maybe I woke up in the timeline where, the person that was planning on betraying me. Maybe I woke up on the timeline where I figured them out before they got to it. And I stopped that. I shut that down. I took care of that, infinite. I took care of that. Why? Because I can move like water and the mist in the air if I need to in order to see what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I woke up on a timeline where my health was failing yesterday, but I went to bed in a high vibration with visions of, me being in perfect health. And, maybe this morning, maybe I feel so much like myself, and I feel so much better and so much more optimistic and eager about my life this morning because maybe I energetically moved myself to a different timeline, to the timeline where I don't have any health issues, to the timeline where I didn't been gotten over whatever traumas that I've been through in the past. Maybe I've moved myself energetically to a timeline where I'm just in the midst of this infinite flow of abundance. Okay. Maybe I told the infinite spirit within me to open the floodgates to my abundance that I know is part of my divine inheritance. Maybe I allowed that abundance to begin to flow into me in beautiful and perfect ways because I know that I am under the umbrella of divine grace. Maybe I thanked the Most High before I even saw those gold coins begin to rain down into my life, and that golden light began to flow down from the sun that is always watching over and protecting me and filling me up and giving me even enough to give y'all. Okay. When I speak of energy, I'm speaking of your inner G, your inner God, your inner goddess, that imperishable Ak, that indestructible star, this light that no one can ever put out, this eternal flame in the core of your being where there is a throne upon which the builder sits, awaiting instruction from the observer. Your energy is the prime creator herself, infinite. You cannot create or destroy energy, my people. But you can, however, transform energy. I just said something. The act of transforming energy, my people, is taking the creation, the blueprint that you were given by the prime creator, and transmuting that energy into something new. This is what I'm speaking of when I say recreation, recreation, play. The blueprint of Earth that you were given is the Play-Doh in the hands of the children of the Most High. You are being asked to create your world. Be a little builder. Be a little god or goddess. Remember yourself. All the teachers have tried to remind you of your power, your divinity. And instead, you began to worship them as if they were greater than you when none of the teachers told you that. None of them desired for that to be the outcome. They were literally trying to teach by example and show you your potential. And some people still have not gotten the message. So here I am again to remind you once again that you are here to recreate, to play. Okay? Recreation is play for the true children of God, the empaths, the light workers, those who are filled to the brim with love. You are the meek who have inherited the new earth. The 3D earth that is unraveling as we speak is a stage where everyone is wearing costumes and masks and playing whatever roles that they've accepted and that they've become, you know, due to lack of that divine knowledge of self that makes it impossible for you to fit into a pre-made box that the world had for you before you even entered into it. Okay, there are those of us that are quote unquote divergent. Okay, you can't fit Unraveler into any pre-made box because though I may look solid, I can melt, I can mist, I can take whatever form I need to take to be where I need to be. I am a Leo, I am a free spirit and multifaceted. And so just as they think they know you, you transform. You have the ability to do that when you are in contact and in touch, infinite, with your star player. Okay? So the 3D earth is that stage that I always talk about when I say that all of the world is a stage. Okay? And people get lost in the sauce because they work very hard to fit into these pre-made boxes that the world has for them. And when you do this, you become the character that you're playing and you forget the truth of who you actually are. Okay? When you become proud that I've been working for General Electric for the past 30 years and I've never been late one day, and I'm their most loyal employee. I got employee of the month for the past 6 months, and they gave me a $2 raise. Okay? I'm proud to have become this loyal worker bee, and I'm not taking shots. I'm trying to free your mind, Neo. Okay? So if you guys remembered, Morpheus told Neo that we rarely awaken a soul after, a certain age because they're going to be resistant to the change. This is so true. Um, a lot of people don't want to be unplugged from the matrix. Okay, when they're shown a glimpse of what is required in order to walk in their truth, to be in alignment with their higher self, and they're like, no, I ain't trying to do all of that. Go ahead and give me that fake steak. Okay, put me back to sleep, make me forget the truth. Okay, which is not really possible, but of course, all of the world is a stage. Because once you've seen the truth and been exposed to the truth, you cannot unsee or unknow the truth. You can only ignore the truth. Hence the word ignorance. Ignorance. Okay? The truth is always there to be seen. You cannot cover it up. You can't hide it. You can't shut it up. You're not sweeping me under the rug. You can, however, choose to ignore the truth. Okay? To ignore wisdom. And fools, only fools, despise wisdom. Okay? Eye of the Tiger, welcome to the building. Love the energy. I'm definitely going to speak on it. I'm going to speak on it, Eye of the Tiger, because I know for a fact that there are devils around here who count on me not speaking on it. They thought they knew me. They didn't understand that my throat is the main thing, the main part of Oshun Aje that was activated in the supernatural. Okay? So, yeah, this is why I'm here because, the devil don't like my voice. The little me really did not want to be here. I really wanted to, be selfish and just take care of me and receive what I'm receiving from the divine, and be in my attitude and my energy of gratitude, but also, the love that I have for the people who I know are walking, in some of those dark areas where I've had to walk, that I made it through, and people who come and thank me for sharing, and tell me that they, are grateful for what I do. This is what keeps me going. It's just the love. Yes, Eye of the Tiger. It's always a pleasure. So, when you have forgotten your divinity, you lost that divine knowledge of self that keeps you from perishing for lack of knowledge. Okay? The universe, again, is a great mirror. Okay? Simply reflecting back to you your own internal state of being. Many people have perished for lack of this particular knowledge of the fact that it is the state of your heart that is creating the state of your own individual reality as well as collectively. So it's so important to always keep your heart in mind. Okay. Shout out to Jay Wood, or it was one of the evolved beings in my House of Healing family on Bigo that said that, and that stuck because it's so pertinent and it's so um, appropriate. Okay, for the time. Knowledge of self is knowledge of God, is knowledge of love. And knowledge of God is empowering because when you identify with the builder, okay, that is sitting at the core of everything that is living, then you get to build. Okay, I just said something. When you understand, when you are aligned, that you are God, and that when you are aligned, because when I'm aligned, I am God, everything I think is going to take form. My thoughts become things. Okay? Why do my thoughts become things? Because you are God's. When you are in alignment, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Okay? So, this is why it's important to keep your heart in mind. Okay? Your words have tremendous power. They have the power to bless and to curse. Okay? And you are the builder, the God of your own reality. This is always going to be the truth that I'm trying to get you to remember, no matter what angle that I'm coming from with it. Okay? I came to unravel and to remind you that knowing yourself as the builder, understanding that your thoughts take form and become people, places, and things according to your own energy, your own frequency, your vibration. Understanding the way that your mind works, being a child of the Most High, who is the prime creator. Know that your mind is literally a magic box, that whatever you hold into it becomes real. Okay? And know that even the things that you fear, you are drawing near to you, because fear is a very strong emotion. It's an energy in motion. Okay? And emotion combined with a desire is the ingredients that are needed for manifestation. And spirit is not biased about what is created. If the emotion is strong and the vision is clear, it shall be created. And so, because most people fear surrendering to love and allowing that to flow through you, what most people hold in their hearts are the things that they fear. And unfortunately, because they have allowed fear to be more dominant within themselves than love. And of course, you can't, if you ask a person, they're not going to admit, oh no, nobody's going to say that they're in fear, because the devil's greatest trick is to convince you that he doesn't exist. So people that are moving in fear, they got excuses for why they're doing it. They're not admitting even to themselves that it's fear, right? They're telling themselves it's something else. But when you unravel it, at the core of it is going to be fear, because there's only two energies here. There's love and there's fear, and there are the byproducts of each of them. Yin yang, baby. Okay? So don't be fooled by the complexity of the illusion, because the truth is very simple. So just know, moving into this energy, that the things that you fear, you are drawing closer to you. You're not pushing it away. Even when you run from it, it is, what is that saying? What you resist persists. Thank you, Spirit. What you resist persists. Correct. Why? Because all of the issues of life are flowing from your heart center, which is essentially a magnet. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're thinking or feeling, I hope this doesn't happen. I really strongly hope nothing happens. I really strongly hope nothing takes this away from me. I really strongly hope that, I don't lose this thing that I love. Essentially, when you're having this strong of an emotion about something that you don't want, you still have to understand that you are creating that, because you're holding the vision of it, even and trying to tell the universe that you don't want it. But by the very act of holding the vision of it, by thinking about it, by feeling emotions connected to it, you are creating it. And this is the knowledge that, if you apply it to your life, can prevent you from perishing. Your mind is creating your reality. And so, first of all, the subconscious mind, when I say that your mind is creating your reality, I am not speaking of the intellect, which is just the thinking mechanism. I'm speaking of the heart, which is the subconscious mind, where wisdom flows from. Okay, you can hold knowledge in the intellect, but wisdom flows from the heart. And it is the heart that thinks. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What does this mean? That means that the electromagnetic field surrounding your body, that we call the aura in the spiritual community, and they call the torus field in the scientific community, is you, if you, when you, I have to, I really, I need to start camming up. And if I had a picture, I'm going to print it out. But basically, your heart is generating a field of energy that surrounds your body, and this is your world. So essentially, you are inside of your own mind. Okay. And so I'm going to illustrate this in a video going forward, but I know that some of you are getting the visual. Okay. Shout out to my seers in the building. So just know that holding fear in your heart is never wise. Okay, because by your very nature, if you are of God, you are a creator. Okay. And so if you understand the way that your mind and your heart works, understanding that your heart is a magnet and we are electromagnetic beings. Okay, your heart is what is generating that electromagnetic field that is surrounding you, that is creating your world. Okay, you are literally standing inside of the mind of God, and you are the God of your own individual reality. And we're just going to talk about the individual reality, okay, right now, because I do want to go into the collective realities that we create together, and why some of them are peaceful and harmonious and beautiful, and some of them are hellish and miserable. Okay. But understanding that we are electromagnetic beings of light who create our own realities according to our vibrational frequency that is emanating from the heart center. We need to accept going forward that that which we call the heart is actually the subconscious mind, and that is creating our world, because the collective subconscious mind, the reason why the world as we have known it thus far has appeared to, the reason why people believe, especially people who are uh, hardwired into the matrix, the 3D reality, the simulation, the dream, they really think it's normal that history repeats itself. Okay. And they don't understand that this is the loop of hypnotic rhythm that the most low has you in, and this is not normal. Okay. Because the most high has an infinite amount of thoughts and does never has to repeat anything. Okay. And so, if you're stuck into a loop of hypnotic rhythm to where your life begins to look like Groundhog Day, it doesn't matter if you're with a different partner. If you're dealing with the same issues, then it's the same game, different players. And understand what the energy is trying to tell you. Okay, because many people will end up with the same person in a different body because it's not about the physical reality, which is an illusion. It's about the energy, the frequency, the vibration. So those of you who have dealt with narcissistic abuse, if you have interpreted this correctly from the spiritual standpoint, the spirit of the narc demon that I have termed this spirit, um, is a very familiar spirit by now. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. If you have dealt with narcissistic abuse, you can smell a narc from a mile away. Okay. And so, it's about understanding the way that your mind works, and the reason why the mind is it works the way that it does, as far as the repetition, using hypnotic rhythm, and to program this in here, and being able to recognize the unraveling of the hypnotic rhythm as you're moving forward or upward in your spiral of ascension. Because when I speak about the rites of passage and the tests that we have to pass in order to gain access to these higher levels of consciousness, awareness, love, abundance, all of these things, the test that we have to pass, it's something that you've been preparing for. Even though you don't know this test is coming, you are ready for it, because all of your life have been the preparation. It's been your training. And so when it's time to take these final exams, when you're ready to go to that next level, whether you know it or not, you are prepared. It's just about, am I brave enough? Do I believe enough in myself? Do I believe enough in what I've learned thus far to actually put it into action? Because a lot of people talk about being doers of the word, but you know how many people do you see actually doing all of these things that you see them planning to do and talking about doing? And you know what I'm saying? Have you really done them? Or are you actually going to do them, or are you going to talk about the path? Uh, you know, versus walk the path, because talking is only one level of experience. Okay. But there are a lot of people sitting in pulpits and wearing robes and crowns, and calling themselves masters of something, and you haven't even experienced a lot of the things that they claim to have mastered. And so, just be very discerning, my people, spiritually, when it comes to this illusion, because again, all of the world is a stage, and most people are playing roles. And yes, they have been practicing all of their lives to be excellent actors and actresses. Okay. We continue to, think about the way that again, the subconscious mind works, and how hypnotic rhythm works as far as repetition will basically program something to run on autopilot in the back of your mind. This could be self-defeating thoughts, this could be thoughts of fear, thoughts of the scary movie that you read, whatever. I mean, a scary movie that you watched, whatever you saw on the news. You may see things happening to other people, and now you have this fear that it might happen to you. All of these things. And the mad scientists, Pinky and the brain, okay, the powers that were, they understand exactly, they know exactly what they're doing, and they understand the workings of the human mind better than most humans understand it. Okay, meaning that they understand you better than you understand you, which is how they were able to trap you in a world where they are appearing to be in power, where you don't understand that you are the one holding the reality together, that you are the battery that Morpheus was showing Neo when Neo asked him, what is this all about? It's about your energy being used by those who don't have energy of their own to sustain themselves in a reality where they are the dominant society. I just said something. So understanding how the mind works, some of you newly awakening to the truth that you are and have been creating your reality, mostly unconsciously thus far. Think about why they continue to do things like teach about slavery. Why do Black children, that were born in, the 2000s, or, even in the 90s, 80s, whatever, why do they need to keep learning about slavery? That we really don't have proof of whether it was what they say it was or whatever. Okay, why do we continue to teach about wars, famines, pandemics? Why is this the repetitive cycle of the human condition? Okay, why do we teach our children, Black people, why do we teach our children about slavery, whether we can attest to the authenticity of the stories or not? Okay, because when we hold these sorts of thoughts in our minds and we accept these things as our truth, or even when we ponder whether they are true or not, they are being held in the mind, which once again is a magic box that begins to create whatever you're holding into it. So when you talk about, wars that happened in the past, slavery, and things that happened in the past that were tragic, you are recreating these circumstances again and again, collectively and individually. And this is how history is repeating itself. And my people, this is not normal. I'm gonna need y'all to wake up. Let it sink in that your thoughts manifest into things. Okay, this is not a new age teaching, my people. This is an immutable law of the universe that we are all adhering to, whether we are conscious of it or not. And I'm going to take a short break, and I will be right back, my people. Share the live, my people. Share the love. So yes, Eye of the Tiger, fear-based teachings is one of the main vices used by the most low, because they can implant these fear-based teachings, not so much directly, but of course, they teach about wars and slavery and all this stuff in school. They teach about fire and brimstone and hell and the power of the devil in church when the devil ain't got no damn power. Okay, they teach about all of these things that get into there subliminally. If you go to, you talk to church people, most Christians, they are the most fearful people that I've ever seen in my life. Okay, but the people of God are as bold as a lion. So recognize the tricknology that's being put out here. Okay, basically the subliminal ways in which this fear is being, these seeds of fear are being planted in your mind. Your news is 99.9% negativity, 99.9% movie sets, 99.9% lies, 99.9% deliberately planted seeds of negativity. okay? Meant to go into the fertile soils of your minds in order for you to continue to support the establishment, okay? Which is built on the energy, the stolen energy of those who don't know their own power. I just said something. So when you accept what you're being told on the news about coming wars and diseases and the new poorness that's coming, and your mind takes this in, it receives this. Anything that you accept as truth, whether it came from somebody that don't know what they're talking about or whatever, somebody who is fear-based in their nature, okay, and if you accept that as truth into your mind, that's as good as you planting a seed into any fertile soil. Understand that it is going to grow out into a manifestation. So if somebody tell you, yeah, it's a war coming, it's famines coming, it's there's a food shortage, global warming, whatever, right? Your mind receives this as a command and it begins to create it with or without your knowledge, okay, on the surface level. Okay. And so this is how most people get lost in the sauce, and they feel like the world is just out there and I have no control over it. Okay. Because they're so lost in this convoluted, soup of energies that they're receiving from social media and from TV and from church and from all these other sources that are nothing but a distraction from the only source that can give you the truth, which is the indwelling spirit that will never leave you or forsake you. Okay? The indwelling spirit that has the answer to all of your questions. So what we're witnessing right now on the earth is the collective creation, okay, of all of our convoluted subconscious thought forms. Okay, so some of our creations, at this time, because this is the time of change, they will begin to unravel as we move deeper into this new energy. Okay, and the intellect is being brought under submission to the heart. Okay, so the unraveling of the self is taking you deeper into the self, where in the heart center, okay, where the master builder lives. This is where you have to connect with self in order to empower yourself and to actually know yourself as the god or goddess, like I said, that some of you would like to be or want to call yourselves, but have not yet really walked the walk. If you're ready to walk the walk, make that connection and cultivate that relationship, okay? Because you know again, there's a big difference in knowing the path and walking the path, and the time of change is calling those of you who claim to know the path to show us your footprints on the path. I just said something. In order to enter into the next level of experience, you have to relinquish all spiritual gravity in the form of fear-based thoughts, self-defeating thoughts, speaking, anything but life over yourself. Anytime you become aware of anything that is a self-defeating thought or something that you don't want to manifest, stop it. Okay, you do have control over this. Take deep breaths. Okay, take a few deep breaths and deliberately replace any negative or fear-based thoughts that you may be having with thoughts of, you know, your divine abundance flowing in, okay? How beautiful your transformation is going to be, with thoughts of, how, what you want your new home to look like. And you don't have to think about how it's going to come about. You just have to understand that everything is possible. And in this realm, impossible does not exist. And so you have to allow yourself to dream, and you have to understand that every manifestation begins with a dream, with a vision, a thought, a word, and then the word becomes flesh. Okay? And so we're asking you to play, okay? To Use your imagination to draw, to color, to build, to write, to sing, dance. Okay? You have to reclaim your innocence in order to reclaim your divinity. And you have to enter into the kingdom with that playfulness and that lightheartedness of a child. Okay. And so the only way that you're going to truly, because this is not an act that you can put on. Okay. This is, this is something that, it's an energy that can be felt. And so if you have not achieved this lightheartedness and you are still being plagued by, anxieties and fears and worries and all of this, then you have yet to exit the matrix, and that's okay. Okay. But it ain't going to be okay for too long, because if you are hearing my voice, then you are being given direction, okay, on how to get out if you wish to get out. Okay. You have been given free will, and you have every right to eat that fake steak if you want to, and to fall back into the psychoma, okay, that the masses are experiencing right now. So there is no judgment on my end. I'm just making you aware of the consequences of the choices that we are free to make. Okay. This is the time of divine transformation that I have called the time of change. Okay. Many have chosen, though, at this time to conform to the 3D world. And this is the fake state that we're talking about, infinite. Okay. They have chosen to plug back into the matrix and begin explaining and breaking down the matrix to its, barest atom, because, we need to understand the matrix, and, many people have chosen to conform to the 3D worlds and its expectations, of them, and this is just due honestly to people seeking to please other people more so than they want to please themselves, and more so than they want to please God, which is the same thing. Okay. So why, it's like, what is the purpose? It's like, I don't understand, if you are the one having your experience, why people get so much pleasure out of pleasing other people, and then within yourself you are miserable, even in relationships, even in jobs, and all of these things. This is not an act of self-love, to sacrifice your own fulfillment to make other people happy. But for most people who are outwardly focused, they seek, the praise of other people, and the adoration of other people, more so than they do the adoration of the Most High, and to be more so than they seek to please themselves. A narcissistic person is more concerned about how they look than how they feel, and that just is absolute insanity to me. Okay. I would rather feel good on any day than to look good, because feeling good is about me and what I'm going through. Okay. Looking good is just about what other people think I'm going through. So you can look good and feel bad, and narcs don't care. They just care what they look like to other people, because narcs always feel bad. Hence the entire world being a stage and the need to wear masks. Okay. So when people seek to please other people more so than they seek to please God, they end up feeling empty inside. They end up carrying, feelings of resentment, because for some people, outwardly focused people, it was their choice to make the decisions that they made in their lives to try to impress or please other people. But when they start feeling the discontentment that comes along with that, because they are outwardly focused, they blame other people. Okay, for the choices that they made. And so this is why I have told my people, get out of the way, because a lot of narcissistic people and people who have narcissistic tendencies are receiving the return of their own energy at this time, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is a time that they thought would never come. I am the tiger. That time is here. Okay. So people are seeking to please people more than to please God, and some of them are succeeding in pleasing other people. They got 1,000 more followers, okay, and ain't got one more dollar in their pocket, one more ounce of joy in their hearts. It's all fake, energy, because all narcs get from all of these other people and all of this energy that they get from other people, that's their narcissistic supply. That's the extent of all that they ever got coming. Okay. And it's like crack. Okay. So the energy that I got off of those 1,000 people that was, looking up to me like I was God for a minute, that's going to wear off as soon as I log off of this app. And guess what? I'm gonna have to go look for other people to try to siphon energy off of. It's just an endless job, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of unfillables in this world walking around, okay? Like roaring lions seeking whom they can devour, my people. That's why I say get out the way and let them go and devour that fake ass steak. Okay. So the God within you will give you the desires of your heart when you seek and put him first. What the Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God, and all of these things will be added unto you. But most people, because they are outwardly focused and do not acknowledge that indwelling spirit, they try to get the things first and then wonder why I still feel empty on the inside. Okay? Because these people are inside out, backwards, and upside down. I said what I said. Things don't grow from the outside in. Everything unravels from the inside out. Okay? And so trying to fill your life with things when you haven't found the kingdom yet and you haven't connected with your star player, you haven't cultivated that realist and most important relationship. No other relationship that you have with any other person, place, or thing is built on a firm enough foundation to withstand this wind that's about to blow. As soon as this big bad wolf has given the green light. Okay? So trying to collect the desires of your heart from things in the world will leave you empty, depleted, disappointed, depressed, and disillusioned. Seek first the kingdom which is within you, and all of the things that you desire will be added unto you. Okay? Do not be conformed to the world as it is during this time of change, but allow your world to be transformed by a renewing of your heart, which is the subconscious mind, eye of the tiger. I just said something. Allow your heart to be renewed. That means a lot of people need to have a change of heart regarding a lot of things. Okay, first of all, and first and foremost, have a change of heart regarding the self. Because as I said before, as a man or woman thinketh in his or her heart, so is he or she. That means that whatever is the state of your heart is the state of your mind, because your heart is your mind, and that creates the state of your world. Heaven and hell are states of mind that then create states of being. And you have absolute control over your own mind when you wake up and you decide to take back control. The renewing of the mind that is needed for us to consciously and deliberately replace, images, the images of violence, of perversion, of perverted sexuality, lust, destruction, and fearful images that we see on the news and in the movies and all of these things that they're spoon feeding us, that we're just eating without even looking at the list of ingredients. Shout out to House of Healing LLC. Okay. So we're being spoon fed seeds of negativity and eating it. Okay? And whatever you eat, you become. You are what you eat. So when you awaken, you start reading them ingredient lists. Okay? The renewing of the mind that is needed is for you to begin to deliberately place thoughts in your mind. This is the purpose again of affirmations over music, because the music fine tunes your frequency. Okay. And when you're in the correct frequency, then whatever you put in your mind is going to manifest. Okay. And so when you blend these things, then you are utilizing your emotions and your visualization, your intellect together. And when they come together, it's just like a man and woman that were meant for one another. They create that vesica Pisces, which is that portal that is shaped like a woman's yoni. And this is the portal to heaven that is created when two or more are gathered in the name of love. I just said something. Your Taurus field and my Taurus field come together to create a portal. And this is the way to heaven, my people. So the renewing of the mind that is needed is for you to be conscious of what you are placing inside your mind. Okay? Thoughts, words, and deeds are manifestations in the higher realm. And so replace these thoughts of violence and like I said, perversion and destruction, lust, and all of these things with thoughts, words, and deeds that are manifestations of peace, of divine love, of sacred love, of unconditional love, of unity, with visions of a world that is united. Okay. Of visions of putting together the God puzzle. Okay. The whole of which we are each a part, a puzzle that we need to put back together by taking our place in it. Infinite. When we take our place in the puzzle, we naturally come into contact with our true soul tribe. And as you evolve, those who were part of the tribe on that last level may not be part of the tribe on this level. But the more you evolve and the higher that you spiral up the spiral of ascension, you have less quantity, but you have more quality. Infinite. You may have one friend, but that friend is worth more than all of those fake ass friends all wrapped up into one. Okay. You get God in the flesh. You get to meet earth angels, okay, and archangels, okay. And they replace all of the fake ass friends and the fake ass love that was never fulfilling to begin with. It begins to be easy to let go of something that is not pouring into you in the way that you have been pouring into it. Okay, because now I love me. So wait a minute now. See, back when you didn't love yourself, you was just pouring and pouring and pouring. This is how I discovered the unfillables. I thought I could just keep pouring because I thought that, we know that the workings of nature is that everything is an alternating current. I mean, if I breathe to a tree, the tree is going to give me its breath back, and we are feeding one another what we need. And this is how the world works. But unfortunately, those who have antisocial personality disorders are literally all about antisocial order. That means that whatever is right and exact, these people have been designed to go against that. Okay? Yin yang. So, which role you play is completely your choice, and the consequences thereof, your responsibility. Okay? And so, the puzzle that we need to put back together is me meeting you, Infinite, and you meeting whoever else, and we connecting one another and understanding that, damn, we all been thinking the same thoughts. We've all had dreams that was all part of one big story. We all have been walking the same path. We have had some of the same experience. We were meant to come together. This was meant to happen. I've had deja vu. You was in my dream. Okay, these things are not coincidence. There is no such thing as coincidence in the higher realms. Okay? So, taking your place in the God puzzle. What does this look like? This looks like finding your purpose and walking in that purpose. Not the pre-made box that the world made for you, but your God-given purpose, my people. And a lot of times a person's ego won't allow them to, to admit to themselves that I don't really know my purpose. I see that other person over there walking in their purpose, and that looks amazing. I think I'm gonna do that. That's what the world is full of, copycats. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's what they doing. Or that's they make good money. Yes, that looks like, yeah. You know what? I decided that that's what I'm going to be too. That's not how it works. See, you were given a divine purpose before you even came here. It's a seed that was planted in the core of you that once it unravels, just like an apple seed, it realizes that even in its seed form, it has always been an apple tree. I just said something. On one timeline, the apple seed is a seed, but on another timeline, at the same time, the apple seed is also an apple tree. Okay? And we do have the ability to shift from seed form to tree form with a simple shifting, a renewing, a changing of the heart, of the mind, of the vibration. You think you know how the world works, but you've been distracted by being told to study every atom of the matrix instead of trying to figure out how to get out of it. Your thorough examination of the matrix, it's what's keeping you stuck. Okay? Find where you fit within the God puzzle by finding your purpose, walking in it, and you will know whether you're in it or not because you will have a sense of purpose fulfillment. You will know this is what I'm supposed to do. You will be naturally good at what you do, and you will not be worried about anybody trying to compete with you because they will not be walking in their purpose. They will simply be mimicking and copying. And, that's like comparing, these man-made bodies and these man-made people to the God-made bodies and God-made people that they are trying to mimic. Okay? Remembering means putting back together. And so, since remembering means to put back together, I need my people of God to understand that division is never good. Okay? However, it is necessary. It's necessary when, it's necessary to exchange what you have accepted or created using the intellect alone for the desires of your heart that the builder wants to bless you with. Okay? So the only time that division is necessary is when what you're dividing and what you're letting go of no longer serves you, that it is keeping you from being in alignment with the part of you that is already blessed and highly favored. How do you come into alignment with the part of yourself that is already blessed and highly favored? What type of people does God bless? What types of people does God highly favor? Yeah, that's who you have to become. So again, there's a big difference in knowing this path and walking this path. And a lot of people put on a good act as if they have become the living words that they speak of. But I want you guys to begin to examine very closely in the upcoming days, weeks, and months, because the light is only going to continue to get brighter and brighter and brighter. And the illusions, the masks, they are going to begin to be more and more transparent, more and more apparent. Okay? So be very discerning going forward. Okay? Because a lot of people who never thought that karma was coming back are getting ready to learn the biggest lessons of their life. And I mean the life of their soul, not of this one finite experience that they're having now. I'm saying they are getting ready to learn the biggest lesson that they have ever learned in the life of their particular spark of God that they have been. Okay. Because, and this is not about trying to put fear into anyone's hearts or anything like that. This is just about being the siren that I am to come and alert everyone that time is up. So all of the talking about putting things in the future and let's study the past to figure out the future, the days of chasing our tails and going around in circles are over. Okay? If you're ready to go to the next level of experience, be prepared to shift and not to circle around that same circle. Be prepared to see something that you've never seen. Be prepared to behold the new thing that God is doing. And don't confuse awe with fear when you have to accept that there actually are new things under the sun, that the Most High is infinite. So why would there have to be a repetition of old things? That your belief in the fact that history repeats itself has been a lie that the devil has told. And Unraveler is here challenging the devil, unraveling your lie, your illusion. It is not necessary for history, his story, her story, your story. It is not necessary for history to repeat itself. When the prime creator has infinity, in which to create. Infinity in terms of time, in terms of space, because time and space are the same thing. Space is time illustrated. I just said something. So, in order to have the desires of your heart, you, of course, have to connect with the builder that lives in your heart. You have to submit the intellect to the decisions of the builder that lives in your heart. You have to be willing to follow your heart. You have to trust the guidance that is coming from your heart. How do we know when this shift from the intellect to the heart is necessary for continued evolution? When you've created all the things that you thought in your mind that would make you happy, and yet you still feel empty inside. This is what I call a divine discontent, caused by a failure to acknowledge the builder. Okay? The indwelling spirit that created the body for the purpose of experiencing what it wants to experience, which is love in all forms. Okay? But we allow the intellect, the ego, okay, to take the wheel and drive us deeper into the simulation, the game, the movie, the dream, the psychoma, the illusion, the matrix. The builder is in the center of everything that is living. And this is what connects the God puzzle, the builder. So you guys know that the premise of all of my teachings is love, and most of all self-love, okay? Why self-love? Because within the self, within you is your God. So if you know that God lives within you, then it is imperative that you love yourself. God is not separate from you. God is within you and within everything that is living. And so when you recognize that, when we say namaste, we are recognizing the divine in another person, place, or thing. Recognizing divinity is simply recognizing pure unconditional love, which is what God is. God is an energy, a frequency, a vibration, the highest vibration, pure unconditional love. So what does divine knowledge of self looks like? What does self-realization looks like? It looks like acknowledging that I am love incarnate. Self-realization means walking in that energy, becoming love, making the self real. Self-mastery looks like mastering the art of love, starting by loving yourself and receiving love in all forms from the universe as a reflection of your internal vibe. I just said something. Okay? Self-realization means walking in the energy of who you truly are. That's all self-realization is. It means making the self real. Okay? Self-mastery looks like mastering the art of love. Why? Because you are love personified. So, mastering the art of love, beginning with the self, and then allowing yourself to receive from the universe as a reflection. Again, heaven and hell, abundance, peace, joy, all of these are states of mind, eye of the tiger, that then create states of being. So all the Unraveler is doing is helping you to achieve the state of mind necessary in order to experience the state of being. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration, and you have total control over your own energy, frequency, and vibe once you awaken and you start to play with your power and know how to use it. It's just like a newborn baby when they discover that they have hands and feet, and oh, I can put this in my mouth. Let me put my toes in my mouth. They're discovering their power. So those of you who are neophytes to this new energy that we're entering into, you are babies now in this new energy, being asked now to learn how to use your new faculties. A lot of your spiritual gifts have come online and been heightened. And so you're being asked to take control of your own internal vibration by replacing those images of fear with deliberately placed visions of peace, balance, unity, harmony. Replace the thoughts of scarcity and feelings of lack with thoughts of abundance and the excitement of unlimited possibilities. This is the renewing of the mind that is required in order to enter into the kingdom, my people. Nothing is impossible for the Most High. If your mind is still filled with darkness, go find yourself a place in the sun. Give thanks for divine love and breathe it in. Allow your heart to open, first to release the darkness within there, release the fear, and then to allow it to be flooded by that true, real, tangible, healing, unconditional love of God. Okay? It feels like a place in the sun. Okay? This pure unconditional love of God that I speak of, it manifests itself physically as pure light. It is a visible light. Okay, that those of us who have eyes to see, we can see that. We can see your halo. Some call it Shekinah. Some call it glory. Some call it an imperishable Ak. Unraveler calls it the glow of authenticity, the glow of truth. The ultimate truth of who and what you are, my people, is pure unconditional love personified. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word, what did it say? In the beginning, the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Okay, and the Word became flesh. The Word, my people, is love. A word that so many people, too many people, use in vain. The Word that became flesh. That word is Love, Luv, however you want to spell it. It's an energy, it's a frequency, it's a vibration that is God, that was with God, that has became flesh, okay, is now the living truth. The only truth in this reality, my people, is love, okay? The only truth is love, which is God. So to experience yourselves as the gods and the goddesses that you are, remember that the whole 3D reality is a stage. Quit playing the roles that you have been playing. Remove your masks, my people. I'm seeing, I don't know why Spirit is showing me the scene at the end of The Wiz. If anybody has seen The Wiz, and if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It is the Black version of The Wizard of Oz. For some reason, Spirit is showing me the moment when they were able to kill Eveline, who was the evil witch who was getting ready to destroy Dorothy and all of her friends, okay? And Diana Ross played Dorothy, and I remembered there was a moment when Dorothy, kind of tricked the witch, and she pulled this fire alarm or the fire, whatever, but it makes the water, makes the emergency water come on, and it caused the witch to start melting. And she basically got flushed down her toilet that she was sitting on as her throne. Okay. Again, the devil always got some dark perverted copy of what God has made. Okay. So this wicked witch's throne was actually a toilet. And when they put the water on her, because she was such an unclean spirit, you couldn't tell that the throne was a toilet until she melted and actually went into it, and then the lid closed on it. Now, why Spirit just showed me that? That is so funny. Reason Spirit just showed me that it's like, because the wicked witch, the powers that used to take power over your mind, Pinky in the brain, you know what I'm saying? The people who were planting seeds of negativity into your mind without you knowing it, are being exposed, like the man behind the curtain on The Wizard of Oz. Remember when they finally got there and they was talking about the great and powerful Oz, and then come to find out it was just a man behind a curtain with a microphone? Yeah. That's what's going to be happening with a lot of people who have become the role that they have been playing in this world that is a stage. So if you wish to awaken, my people, stop playing the role, quit the play, remove the mask, live your truth regardless of the changes that this causes in your life, because you have to walk in faith, knowing that all is always as it should be if you trust the writer of your story. Okay? So I'm going to get out of here, my people. I think I've delivered the messages that I needed to deliver. Welcome, my people, to the time of change. I'm looking forward to seeing my beautiful butterflies emerging from your cocoons. This is our times, my love. This is our times. Why I say times? Because you have access to multiple timelines, and you can switch between them simply by shifting your own internal energy, frequency, and vibration. You do this by choosing your thoughts, choosing what you put your energy in the form of your emotions into, and playing. Okay, recreating, because we are recreators. We came to play with the blueprint of Earth and create as many versions of it as we can, because there is no limit to God or the spaces or the worlds that God has given us the power to create. So in my Father's house, there are many mansions, and you are being asked to design your own mansion of thought and become the God or goddess of your own world, my people. I'm sending you all peace, love, life, joy, abundance, and healing. And I will see you all in my next broadcast. I'm out.